Well, I've done it again. I've dragged myself out of bed with no plan. Well, that's not entirely true. Last night, lying in bed at 11 p.m, I decided where I was heading today. There's nothing quite like being prepared. And in the true spirit of storytelling, here is some footage of my journey and arrival. To go straight into showing you some of my photos seems a little bit narcissistic. Now this video started great, gradually got worse, but then mildly better again. That was until I got home and saw the photos on the big screen. Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see what I mean, although the morning may have been saved by one of the very last photos I took, and it's quite possibly up there in my top 10 favourite photos ever. More on that later in the video. And I'm standing here hoping and praying the sun is going to light up the trees on the left hand side of the pond. Patience isn't really my thing, which, if I want to wait for the ideal conditions, is a trait that's needed. At least I had something to watch while I stood around. And after about an hour, things started to look up. I got this photo. It's okay, I like the lighting and the reflections, and I was grateful the mist hung around for a while longer. I took a couple more, but my battles and indecisiveness with the light meant I converted to black and white, average at best. And this is me taking a couple more shots, knowing full well they would never see the light of day, but I took them anyway. The beauty of digital. Throw away wasted shots that probably discourage the thought process, and if these two shots had cost me money, I would have thought twice about taking them. This high contrast shot may have been better in black and white, so harping back to the beauty of digital, here's the black and white version. Turns out they're both rubbish. And that was the enough of the pond, time to wander around. I had no idea what I was looking for, but I went looking for it anyway. And it turns out it wasn't this. Or this. Or this, or even this. At a different location, same story. But then inspiration hit hard. And when I say hit hard, I mean I had a vague idea that could result in a couple of good photos. I saw this fallen acorn being hit by the spot of light coming through the trees, and then I had an idea. In this harsh sun, I figured I would wander around looking for similar subjects being hit by a spotlight of sun and see what I can do with that idea. As it turned out, very little, so it was time to take a few minutes and contemplate some life choices. The immediate choice was how many Jaffa cakes to eat. That one was one of the easier decisions of the day. Not to be deterred, I continued. And eventually I headed back past the pond to an area with denser tree coverage, hoping to have more luck with my newfound inspiration. These lilies caught my eye, and I fired off a quick shot before focusing again on the task I'd set myself. In my desperate attempt to get a photo, I spotted these shafts of light streaming through the trees. I wasn't sure what I would be able to do with the photo, but I took it anyway, just in case. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That may need a bit of creative editing, but there's some nice sort of shafts of light coming down here, and if I can I've exposed it for the highlight on the floor here, so if I can make in post the rest of it darker, just try and pull through that brightness. Not going to overdo it, because I want it to look like that, but just, I don't know, you can't even see me, can you? So I want it to look like you've just seen on the screen there, but exaggerated. Not exactly what I had in mind, but when I shoot, I usually take what I can get, and this is okay. I was quickly finding out though that not every subject lit the way I wanted will make a good photo. I couldn't get an image I liked out of this, or this, or this, and I was restricted by staying on the main footpaths in this area as there are ground nesting birds. But at last I had more success with this, and a couple more that I'm going to show you before I show you my favourite photo of the day. And this one is not exactly what I had in mind, because it's just a little bit too busy and it's probably the worst of the day, but I thought I'd include it anyway. Now you've come this far, so stand by for my favourite photo, not only of today, but one that I've probably taken in ages. I love the way the sun hits the trunk. Nature was good to me in as much as it adds a bit of colour with the moss. The sun coming in on the floor and the sun catching the lower leaves at the top really adds to the composition. A touch of darkening the shadows and adding a bit of contrast really helps the trunk and the leaves stand out. And I didn't realise it at the time, mostly because I was too busy trying not to run over donkeys on the way home, but I'd actually taken one of my favourite photos in ages, which is surprising given that I had absolutely no plan, no vision, and about as much composure as a tripod in high wind. Somehow, by sheer accident rather than skill, I stumbled into a shot that even I think is half decent. And if that isn't proof that sometimes you really never know what you're going to get, well, I don't know what is. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.